Hey, Curvies. Thanks for coming through to LRGA Curves today. Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload a video. Traffic, you guys. I posted that and I was out. I posted what time I was going to start this and I was already out of the house. And I was like, I'll be home by 1:30. Let me make it for 1:30. Traffic and pace cars. Okay? But thanks for coming through to LRGA Curves today. I hope you're having an excellent hump day. What day is it? Hump day. You make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets. Let's see. No way. Ann is already here. Awesome. Thanks for the support. Right on. I got a super chat, you guys. I got a super chat before I even got in here. That is so great. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Multiplied and running over. Thank you so much, Ann. Pinky, the housewife. You guys, Pinky has a channel in the YouTube streets. Make sure you go through and smash her buttons. Okay? Yes, yes. Oh, and Bianca Supermod is in the house. Happy Wednesday, Curvies. Thanks for you all turning into LRGA Curves. Hope you are ready for a good show. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, okay? Right on. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, right. Thanks for the support. Love it. Yeah, I was running a little late, you guys. Traffic. But I appreciate the people who are here and the people that popped in to support and smash that like button. So you guys, we're going to talk about a couple of things today. I have on the menu Martha's Vineyard. We had the finale. Was that the finale? I think that was the finale we had. Or do we have one more show? I think it was a finale. Anyway, in this most recent episode, thanks for coming back, Am. And thank you for your support. Love it. Appreciate you. So, Martha's Vineyard. You guys, how did you feel about Martha's Vineyard? I loved this season. I loved it. I like, some of the stereotypes about us is way different than what we just saw. Everybody on there was able to, if they had an argument, they addressed it in real time. They didn't let it linger too long. They have great conflict resolution, excellent communication chakras. Well, some of them. And then there's some people that are just plain messy. Cough, cough. Natalie, Amir's girlfriend. Man, that was a mess, right? So last week, we had the girls sit around and include Natalie on their discussion when they were bashing Nick, basically. And I'm not sure why they were bashing Nick, but to me, that was like out of nowhere because he had already addressed it with people. And the girls who were talking were like, no, he hasn't been that way with me. So I wasn't even sure. Why did they have to bring that up? Why did they bring it up again and in front of Natalie? Natalie, to me, when she first got in the house, okay, people are shy, but she's a multi-million-dollar real estate agent. She doesn't get paid to be shy. She gets paid to be outgoing, right? And that personality is not usually just reserved for transactions. I found that most people that are real estate agents talk to everybody without an attitude. But when Natalie first got in the house, Natalie had straight attitude, you guys. You know she had an attitude. She had an attitude. She didn't say hi to the people. She wouldn't come out the room. She was doing all kind of smirks and sneers with her face. every time the women would say something, or when she was looking at them, you could see like it wasn't like, oh my God, I want to meet them. It was more like, ugh, look at those, right? And then at the jacuzzi, she didn't even say hi. Well, they edited it to make it look like she didn't even say hi to Summer or anything. She was just all about Amir. So if you're just all about Amir, you didn't even talk to the other ladies really that we saw as far as editing went. And then you're going to traipse yourself out to the hammock on that morning, day 14 of 15, and listen to the ladies talk about Nick, and then say, as an eavesdropper, a listener, oh, we have to go tell Tanisha. I think Tanisha needs to know, and I'm going to tell her. That's exactly what I heard happen with my ears while I was watching. That's what I heard happened, right? So explain my surprise when she acted like she didn't know why she went and told the people, and that it was only because the girls told her that Tanisha needed to know, and that Natalie should go tell her. I'm like, that's a blatant lie. Nobody asked Natalie to go do anything. Natalie volunteered to be messy as heck, taking this women's information that they were just sharing amongst themselves. And then this interloper comes and freaking decides that she's going to have a TV moment off of these Black women's conversations that she didn't add anything to really, except for let me go create mess, right? So I'm like, Natalie, why didn't somebody tell you to STF you and sit down sooner? That's not a good look, darling. And poor Amir. Look, I said poor. Amir probably gets what he deserves, though. But then Amir takes it a step further. And, oh yeah, another thing I didn't appreciate was that Natalie knew she was the one that was like, oh, let me go tell what these girls are talking about in this private conversation. So when Nick finally gets to confront the girls that he didn't appreciate them saying things like that without talking to him first, and why in Lord would you go tell Tanisha? And Natalie played so dumb. I was like, how do you close any real estate deals, girl? Because she played very dumb. She played as dumb as Teresa in Real Housewives of New Jersey. She played daft, okay? And like she had no idea what was going on here, what's happening here, and didn't say anything, but sat there looking very scared that somebody would really tell what she did about that whole situation. But she shares a trait with Amir, doesn't she? She shares the trait of being solely responsible for misinformation, for misunderstanding, being kicked off, and then just sit there in the back row with your head down like you have no idea what was going on. So last season, Amir put the dog clothes in with Mariah's clothes. He's always cleaning up. He's trying to be helpful. I appreciate a man that can keep stuff clean. And he was just trying to do laundry. Now, I'm not sure if the men get to do laundry at your house, but whatever house they do it at, I don't know that they might do color separation, but they're not going to separate dog stuff from everything else. And that's exactly what Amir did. So then Mariah goes to get her clothes out of the dryer and finds all of Bria's dog clothes in there with her stuff and just assumed naturally that Bria did it. So she goes to Bria and she says, Bria, why did you do this? And Bria said, no, I didn't do it. And she's like, well, somebody did it. Who puts dog clothes with regular clothes? And it turned into a huge kerfuffle where Mariah pushed the clothes into Bria's hands, and Bria said she was assaulted and Mariah had to leave. And as soon as Mariah left, Amir comes out from under the floorboards talking about, I was the one that put the dog clothes in with Mariah's clothes. Should I have said something? Guess not. It's over now. And never corrected it, you guys, to who it needed to be corrected to. So Mariah got smooth kicked off her first appearance on reality TV because of that miscommunication caused by Amir's actions. So now we get into this season, and there was a huge debate in the house. Can Mariah come back? Can Phil come back? And Bria was like, fine, she can come back. And as soon as Mariah got there, her and Bria had a conversation, and Bria acknowledged in that conversation that she was wrong and that Amir bared responsibility for the actions that were put on Bria, and that Mariah was going to be talking to Amir about it. And I thought that's big girl panty time, because Amir needs a good talking to. He needed to get checked on that. I thought, based off of his cleaning techniques and always cleaning up after everybody, that he would have just said, oh, when he was talking to Mariah said, I think you needed to take responsibility for that. And Amir was like, no, I don't need to do nothing. And he was acting like, why are you talking to me? I feel like Amir has a problem with Black women specifically. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she said that she thinks that Amir actually has problems with not only Black women, but Black men, because he doesn't know how to fit into the space of his Blackness. And he's not super duper comfortable in his Blackness. And he said it season 1. And it was reflected very, very well in his interactions with Blackness. So it could have been so simple to just be like, you know what? I was standing on the side. I saw that happen. And afterwards, I said I did it. And I did not say anything in real time. And you're right. That could have saved a whole argument. He could have said something as simple as that. But instead, he was so bothered, took zero accountability, and was very, it was a form of aggression with Mariah for talking to him, and then rushed off like, why was she talking? It was a bad scene. So I was not shocked to see that the birds of a feather that are flocking together is Amir and Natalie, because Natalie did the same type of situation. She would decide she needs to go talk to Tanisha about Nick being handsy. And then once everything got brought up, she didn't say nothing. So to the point where Nick took his aggressions out on Bria specifically, and questioned Noelle and Shanice about it, but didn't have any smoke for Natalie. And I was like, that's not a good look. And I was thinking, well, maybe this, maybe that. And he didn't have any smoke for Natalie, period. And I was kind of put off by that. But he was on Watch What Happens Live, and I caught the replay last night. And he said that, he said that he should have gave more smoke to Natalie, but he doesn't apologize for talking to the other ladies. And that's a little bit of a problem too, because he went from 0 to 100 with the ladies for no reason. And he should have calmed himself sooner, I think. That's what I think personally. Let's get at these comments. Let me see what's going on over here. I've been talking for 14 minutes. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? Anne came back. Here we go. Happy to support. Right on. It was the finale. I thought so. I don't know that it ended like a full-on finale. But yeah, that was a finale. I so enjoy Martha's Vineyard also. Yes. Bria and Natalie. Bria's comment was messy, but Natalie was the most messy for taking it back to the people. Hi, Marsh. Thanks for coming up. Yep, her opportunistic self. She wants to be on TV so bad to the point where Amir said he's not coming back if she can't be on full time. Please. I don't agree. Yeah. Sorry, you guys, sushi. So Natalie is the bone collector. Yeah, like she just sat there in a conversation with some girls she didn't even talk to the whole time she was there practically, listened to their conversation and was like, I'm going to go tell Tanisha, and went and told, started some stuff, and then didn't say that she was the one that started it. Hi. Happy Wednesday. Bria and the other girl got into an actual fight and she wasn't asked to leave. What's her name? Summer. Exactly. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure why that was allowed to happen like that. Yeah, Summer pushed Noelle. And nobody asked her to leave. You're right about that. Only earthy chicks need to leave? Like Mariah? Tasia. Yes. Tasia. I was confused about Tarnisha. Yeah. So Tanisha, she was, I don't know. I felt like she didn't really want to hear what Natalie had to say while Natalie was literally standing there stroking this black woman's hair. Look, that's how little Natalie hangs out with black women, is that she walked over to this black woman who said she didn't feel like talking, stands over her while she's eating. That's another thing. Black people don't really play with people standing right over your food while they're talking, because spittle comes out of your mouth naturally, you guys. Even when waitresses come back to the table, I kind of cover my plate, because if you look just at yourself talking with some light in front of you, you'll see spittle come out of your mouth on a regular basis. Just say the word pleasure. Spittle just came out. It's not even a fault. Like, you can't help it. And so she comes over to her, stands over her while she's eating, and begins to stroke Tanisha's hair. I did not like that. I was like, that's why she don't want to talk to you. If you would have just came over and got with her on her, came down so you're not talking over her food, and then said, oh, can I talk to you for just like 3 minutes? I really want to put a bug in your ear or something like that, without touching a black woman's hair. And the reason it's a problem with me touching her hair is just throughout history, to have your space invaded without invitation is not ever nice. So, and it's a liberty that's often taken with people outside of the race assigned to you. So specifically non-black people love to come up and they're like, oh, it's so soft. Oh, it's so this. Oh, it's so that. Look, you go someplace else and get your science experiments on. I'm not here for your entertainment in that regard. Like, keep your hands out of my hair. So that was off-putting. I did not like how Nick yelled at Bria. But it is interesting that Bria showed herself in the finale that she knows how to calm herself, because in the day 1 of 15, remember, they sat down to the first dinner and Bria was having a full-on conniption and taking Milo, yelling to the house, and then Preston was like, what, you gonna cry again? You gonna cry again? Remember that? Because she just goes from 0 to 1,000 in no time flat. But when confronted by somebody giving her that energy, I noticed that Bria knows how to tone it down considerably. She even knows how to count to 10, you guys. So that means that the very first day of 15, had she just sat there at the dinner table and counted to 10, maybe she wouldn't have had to have her first runaway, because she was like, she has a blow up, runs to the other room and comes back like it's nothing. And I'm like, I'm not sure what kind of emotional support Milo is providing if Bria has so many episodes, even while holding Milo. So I don't know. He might be a coda dog, not an emotional support dog. He might be a codependent dog at this point because I don't think he's helping. Anyway, so what else happened? You know who was on mute the whole season? What's the girl's name? Jordan? Jordan was the one in Playboy, right? So Jordan was, she talked about her alopecia once, yelled at Summer, and the rest of the time she hardly said anything except for played her DJ thing. And I don't know why she didn't add anything. Maybe she thought she was going to be able to have stress with Jasmine all summer, but once she found out she was pregnant, she had to back off. And I feel like Jasmine and Jordan's relationship is suffering because Jordan is, I would say, a form of, I don't know if it's a jealousy. She feels a kind of way about Jasmine being married. And I didn't see Jordan have like, oh my God, excitement when Jasmine finally announced that baby Jasmine was in her belly. That baby Silas Jr. was in her belly. And I don't know. It just doesn't feel authentic. Maybe they won't be able to get back to that place when they were both just shaking their ass at the Playboy mansion with their titties out. Maybe that's the only place that Jordan is comfortable with Jasmine, because Jasmine right now is in like an adulting phase. She's pregnant, she's married, her man's away, she's doing this on her own. So her whole vibe is different. She's not trying to go out and have shots and shake her ass. And as a DJ, maybe that's where Jordan feels the most comfortable, is in that type of environment. And Jasmine is not gonna put her baby in that type of environment, I'm sure. She is just minding her P's and Q's being pregnant. So for Jordan to say this year, oh, I don't know if I can trust you because you act so different because you're married, I call BS. I call a big, heaping, steaming pile of bullshit on that. Who do you know in your real life that gets married and acts exactly the same as they did at the Playboy Mansion? I'll wait. Oh, nobody put nothing in the chat. Because nobody expects anybody to stay the same. That's why. So Jordan is just a freaking hater, in my opinion. That's what I feel like. Jordan is a hater. She doesn't have a lot going on. Something happened when she put her titties in the Playboy magazine, and now she feels objectified by men. So now she doesn't want to feel objectified by men. She wants something deeper. That's what she said last season. And now this season, she just wanted to be solemn, I guess. She was not fun. She didn't do anything really memorable. I hope Noelle comes back next season. I like Noelle a lot. I did not appreciate Noelle putting all her cards face up on the table with Alex, who she just met, who she also knows smashed Summer. That was a little, I don't know, like, I'm not into sloppy seconds, you guys. If I was first and you ended up sloppy seconds and then I do it again, then I was still first. But if I was first, if you were first and I had interest and I found out you were first and we're in the same friend group, I'm not going to be in my late 20s, early 30s sopping up your sloppy seconds. I'm just like, what's wrong? Self-esteem issues? But she did say her dad wasn't in her life, and that can really make you look for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in so many faces, right? So my heart goes out to her because she's gorgeous. Oh my God. To me, Noelle was like gorgeous. Like, she's so Beyonce-ish, but like a Beyonce I would want to hang out with. Like, there's nothing, like, to me, I wouldn't want to hang out with Beyonce's energy. But Noelle, she seems so fun, so down to earth. I don't know. She just seems like a good time and easy to interact with person. And so she has so much personality. Hopefully she will be able to absorb the part of her pain from her father's absence, because that's not going to really go anywhere, but maybe she'll be able to absorb it and at least be able to make better decisions with men, because no man deserves to know all about you on day one. And even to Dr. Heavenly been married for almost 30 years, and she will even tell you, you better keep a secret. That's some old Cosmopolitan magazine stuff right there. Okay. Cosmopolitan magazine would always tell you, keep a secret. Okay. Have a level of mystery. Access is power. Remember that. Whether it's between your legs or just to your company, access is power. And if you're giving yourself to people too freely, then they might take advantage of that. And they might take you for granted, you know? So you kind of have to shore up and just, you know, check your 6 and 9 and be a little elusive to men. Men love a chase. They're natural hunters. And so, like, if you're just going to be like dead meat in front of them and offer yourself to them, there's nothing to hunt. There's nothing to chase. They don't want none. Believe me. Believe me. Okay? They do not want that. Wait just a second, you guys. Let me go grab this and I'll be right back. Let me turn this music up. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Let me grab this. Okay, I'm back, you guys. I grabbed it. Here it comes. Is it hot where you guys are today? It's 86 in my neck of the woods here in California. Okay. There. I'm back, you guys. Can you hear me okay? Okay, thanks for waiting. So yeah, I had to go grab that. Yeah, it's 86 today in my neck of the woods here in California. It's going to be, where I live in California, the summers are easy 114, lots of 114 summer days, 110s, 102s. Yeah, we'll see what La Nina El Nino is doing to us this year. Okay, let me get at these comments. I've been talking again for another 10 something minutes. Let's see. Emmanuel. Yes, she's the bone collector. She was trying to be Sheree Whitfield with no Sheree. Okay. Yes. Okay. I thought so, Anne. She's a hater. I'm like, there's something way off. I'm like, was she in love with Jasmine and thought they were going to ride off into the sunset doing threesomes forever? Like, what is up? Because that was not, oh, girl, I'm happy you're married energy at all. Like, she was just looking for a problem and found it all in the happiness that Silas and Jasmine had. Yeah. Natalie definitely has a fun, cute vibe. Is that, I mean, Noelle. Is that who you're talking about? Oh my God. We need to try to hook that up. That's an excellent idea, Anne. Oh my God. would be the business. He would be happy. She would be happy. I'm sure he would treat her nice. He would treat her. He would make sure he would never want to see her cry. To have his own literal Beyonce, his very own college educated, fun, beautiful, outgoing, vulnerable. That is an excellent idea. I need to go follow Ryan on Instagram, and then I need to go in his DMs and tell him that he needs to check out Noelle and maybe get in her DMs, because I really like Noelle. I mean, and I liked Summer last season too, when she came on and she felt I can see why her and Noelle are friends. When Summer's not tripping, Summer's energy is complementary to Noelle's. But Summer was tripping the whole time. From the first night, she's like, well, you were inside me. She was on the same Jordan energy. I don't know what that was about. Yes, definitely a girl's girl. And I appreciated, even when she was pushed by Summer, how she didn't make a huge deal out of it. She was very still worried about her friend. And yeah, she's a definite girl's girl. They better treat her right. Yes, that was the word he typed. Yep, that was his word. He said Beyonce. Lloyd said Beyonce. They all said Beyonce. But definitely Ryan was like, I need a Beyonce. It's good for a woman to have, yes, a little bit of mystery about herself. There's not a lot of mystery these days. Everything is like for your devourment, you know? Nothing's left to your imagination anymore. You have to have a bit of mystery about yourself. Even if is that her real hair? Let that be the mystery. But have some freaking mystery, okay? Don't tell him everything. Don't tell him everything. That includes giving out your phone. Yeah, don't give it to everybody. No. Make them work for the digits. Because the digits are power, because they can access you. So you can't just go around giving your number to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You have to be a little selective. You know what I mean? People will take advantage of you, especially those who want to know a lot about you immediately. Anyone asking for your phone number is scamming. They're trying to set you up. This includes everyone. Yeah. What's good, voice twin? I appreciate you being here. Mystery. AAE and Ann, you guys could talk about a lot of different things together. You guys complement each other's energy also. Yes, say hello. Yeah, smash the button, you guys. Smash the button. I appreciate you all taking time out of your day to pop through and spend some time with me while we go over Martha's Vineyard. Why is it on Bravo? Am I biased that on Bravo, these black casts, these all black ensembles are really putting it down? And I'm picking it up because these are the best shows on Married to Medicine, all black. The best show on freaking Bravo. The best. Okay, in my opinion. As far as like content and the storylines of the ladies, and they have great conflict resolution, and in real life they're doing real things to affect change in the world. And I don't know, I just love that show, but I could be a little biased because, you know. But now with this Martha's Vineyard, I never got into the regular Summer House because there was nobody on there that looked like me. And I do not act like those people on Summer House. I never have. Even when I was a drinker, which I am only a sipper now, but when I was a drinker, I didn't like to get so drunk that I fell down or didn't remember stuff or was slurring my words. That's not the kind of party girl I was. I'm a control freak party girl. I like to be in control. I like to know where I am. I hate the spins. And it looked like the regular Summer House and Winter House. Love the spins. Okay? And that's just not my vibe. Girls Gone Wild is not my vibe. I'm a woman of a certain age, and you don't have to act like that, right? So that was such a juxtaposition to this summer house crew, where they're not all smashing each other. So they're not just in there swapping all the fluids they can. They're not all in there slurring their words for the whole 15 days, passing out, swapping fluids, slurring words, gone wild. Like, that gets a little old. When you're as old as the people on the other summer house, and you know they older than the ones on Martha's Vineyard. When you're that old, you need to you might want to evolve a little and put some drinks down. Maybe, I liked how on Martha's Vineyard also, they all have an event every 15 days. For every day, each person does an event. I really like that. I don't know that they do that on Summer House. When I watched the couple of things that I did that actually I didn't watch. They came on after another show I was watching on Peacock. And I happened to catch it. And I was like, it's not my vibe. Just not my vibe. So I really appreciate that show. And yeah, it's interesting to me that these two shows are so awesome. Let's see. Jordan thinks she's hotter than, yes, she does. She thinks she's hotter than Jasmine and should have been married before Jazz. Yep. And she is green with envy that Jasmine and her scar upon her cheek was able to find her a good man, a good man, a good man who loves her, who adores her, who wants her to respect herself and respect their union. Now, Silas seems like he could be a bit much. I understand that. But he was also marking his territory with his wife, who are around her friends from when she was single. So that's a whole other thing. But yeah, Jordan gives Haterade a whole new brand, right? Let me search Google and see this Ryan. Yes, so we're talking about Ryan. Have you guys been watching the shows? Oh my God. So 2 other shows we're going to talk about one day here on LRGA Curves. Love Undercover. You guys, they take the soccer players, or also known as football players, from Europe, and they bring them to America and have them date for love with these girls who know nothing about their riches or who they are. They just know that these men are international and they're looking for love. So that's the show. It's called Love Undercover. And Ryan is he's Dutch. He's on the Dutch football team. And he used to date the lady from Saving Sunset. Is that the show? Selling Sunset. He used to date one of the realtors from Selling Sunset, and they broke up. And then he went on this show looking for love. You guys check him out. Ryan, he's a good looking guy. He does have similar energy to Alex, where he's nice and calm and he seems like he can be positive. Yeah. Noelle is more outgoing and she's not too ratchet. You're right. She can probably shake a tail feather and twerk on somebody real good, but it doesn't seem like that's her modus operandi. You know what I mean? Keep it classy. I do still like Summer, and especially after seeing what she was going through. But I also feel like Summer might need some additional help, because that was a lot of stuff she was going through. So I hope she learns how to navigate that kind of stuff, and maybe hopefully next year, if she's going to come back, not as much stuff will be going on. So we can really enjoy her, because she was excellent the first season. Love her vibe. Yeah, she's definitely going through it. And you can totally tell. I mean, who gets on show and says, when you were inside me, that was so, I just peed on this man's leg. Oh goodness, the spins. Yes, it's very dangerous. I'm hearing Gen Z is out the spins culture in Columbia. They are brunch. Yes, exactly. Yes, we're not trying to do no spins anymore. We do a nice brunch, have one sip of your mimosa, and go home and take a nap. But it wasn't because you were spinning. Oh, look, you said mimosa. Yes. An event every 15 days. Well, it's not I'm sorry, I said it wrong. An event every one of the 15 days is put on by somebody in the house. So they got in the house, and like the first night somebody cooked, and then the next time Bria had something. And then, so yeah, they try to do something different all the time. I thought that was good too. A good man, Savannah. He a good man. And he loves her more than she loves him. I bet that's true. And that's always a good place to land too, because yeah. Hello. Hi, Terry. Love you. Did you see Michael J. Fox on the red carpet? I sent you that. He was on a red carpet somewhere recently, and I sent that to you. Our Canadian friend, Michael J. Fox. Yes, Ryan Jazz was from Selling Sunset. Yes. Selling Sunset was amazing. Awesome. Ryan's from, the Netherlands. Sorry, not Dutch. Wait. I think Drummer had her heart broken by Alex. Yeah, maybe Summer put 10 on it, and she should have kept it cute. She should have definitely kept it cute. She probably slept with him and then started calling him every other day. And that might be why he didn't invite her to the party, because he didn't want any clingers at the party. Yeah. But I don't know. Alex kind of feels like he's honest enough to be like, we're just smashing, right? I mean, because he practically said it on the show. He's like, look, like we kicked it sometimes and we had some fun and everything. And I really had a good time with you. And that's when she was like, well, we had to share some love. I'm like, oops, you just lost him forever. Howard, yeah, okay. Listen, ladies, note to self. Even if you really find yourself in love with the guy after you smash him one time, you probably shouldn't let him know that, because he'll just use you for that again and again and again until he doesn't invite you to any more parties and waits to see you next summer. Get what I'm saying? Don't be so available. If anything, Summer should have said, oh, I heard you had a party. I wouldn't have been able to come anyway. I was on a date or something like that. She should have said, she should have done something like that. But for her to be mad she didn't get invited to a party because they smashed shows that she's still emotionally invested in that smash act. And I don't know that he'll entertain her again. Pinky's back. You guys go through and smash Pinky's buttons. Yes. Yes, it's probably, yeah, and she told us her mom had issues. She grew up with her grandma who's sick right now. She's trying to find her father. That's a troubled childhood. And look, both of these beautiful, gorgeous, breathtakingly gorgeous women both have daddy issues. And it's so sad that their dads weren't allowed to be the men in their life that they should have been. And look, if people are going to make babies, this is a PSA. If you're going to have a baby with somebody, try to make sure that that person's going to be available to your child emotionally at certain times throughout their life, with or without relationship to you. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes what happens is, I'm not messing with him no more, so you can't see your daddy. But that's not fair to the child. Look at these women are broken. Summer is broken. Noelle is a form of freaking broken. I'd like to know if Jordan had her. Well, Jordan talks to her dad all the time, doesn't she? And she's not broken, but she's broken in another way. Interesting. We all have shit going on. I guess that's the moral of that story. Oh, you just started watching? Isn't it a good show? Do you like Amir? We like Amir, but not when he gets with his girlfriend. I don't know. She brings out the problematic in his ass. Adds such a heartache. Yes, her Nana's health issues. Yeah, she was lashing out. And I think she did the right thing to leave. She should have probably left sooner. But I don't know. Maybe they get paid per episode, and she was trying to make some summer money also. Yeah. Because remember that lady with no panties on picked Ryan because she thought his flag was the French flag. Isn't that what she said? Or the Italian flag or something? Anyway, she got her flags wrong. Anyway, yeah, we know. Not dumber. She's not dumb. She's not dumb. That's hilarious. Yes, he's on Netflix on Love Undercover. I think Love Undercover is actually on Peacock too. I just saw. Let me see. I'm gonna check that right now. Is Love Undercover on Peacock? Peacock. Because I saw a thing that said the most watched shows on Peacock right now was Real Housewives of New Jersey and Love Undercover. I was watching it on Max. Yeah, so Peacock does have Love Undercover on there also. So if you're already on your Bravo tip on Peacock, then you can just look for Love Undercover on there. I did not see mine on Netflix. I saw mine on I saw it on HBO Max, but it might be on there too. Not with a man. They think the same way. Yeah. Hey, love. I love you. I love you more. Yes, I'm always thinking of you. L and V, thank you for coming through. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Some women's hearts are in their poom pooms. Hey, look, and even though it's throbbing, that is not your heart, ladies. That is not your heart. Get out of your heart, get back into your mind, and understand that there's some things going on, okay? And no matter how hard the quiver or the throb, that is not your heart. Don't be like men and think with what's between your legs. Don't think with that head, okay? And you know, women we're emotional creatures, so there had to be a level of something to usually get us to even open our legs. And that little in us it can be enough to open up the floodgate of love, because we bond physically along with emotionally. Yeah. Right on. I love you. Thanks for being here. Jordan had her dad, but not her mom. I feel like the Playboy Mansion doesn't leave people whole. I don't know how anybody left the Playboy Mansion intact, completely intact. You had to have sold a sliver of your soul to indulge that type of debauchery. There's nothing wrong with debauchery, but there's a payment due for debauchery, you guys. There's definitely a payment that's going to be due. Yes, that Natalie is a messy one. Never liked Amir. He does too much to fit in. Yeah, and like Amir, so did Amir not have his dad too? Because Amir's dad is the person that's black, and he was raised by his non-black mother, right? Isn't that what the story is? And Amir acts like a Karen. One of the scenes, I was like, that was some Ken shit that Amir just did. When Amir was yelling at the ladies, talking about, I should have been brought downstairs if you were going to talk about Natalie, who's not here to defend herself. Really, Amir? You should have been brought downstairs? Really? Okay. But then his interactions with the ladies left me feeling like that was a very Karen-ish situation, when he was yelling at them and they were like, look, it was your girl. And he refused to hear any part of that. He was ready to dial the police and make a fake police report because these ladies were lying on his love, okay? He was not here for it. And all he needed to do was let his defenses down, stop being so defensive, listen to these ladies who are standing right here in front of you, who you know, and listen to what they're going to tell you. Because when you go back and watch the show, I wonder if Amir feels stupid after watching what his girl did and how he went off on these other girls, but his girl was the one who did the bad behavior, right? Very similar flags. Yeah, both blue and white. Right on. Hef wife interviews. Where is this? Where can I watch this voice twin? Yes. Absolutely right. She went through a lot, including the twins. They are going through it too. Yes. Yes. Amir does not have his. So, okay. So we have a lot of daddy issues being played out um, from the masculine and the feminine perspective. And interesting. And mommy issues by proxy. Because I feel Amir is very heavily influenced by his mother. And who probably talks to people the way he talks to these people. You know what I mean? Yeah, you had to close your eyes to be there in that Playboy house. Close your eyes and plug your nose. I'm sure the smells weren't great in every room. Mm-hmm. Gabbing with Gib here, Noelle Hughley. Damn. Yes, Noelle Hughley. I'm gonna put that on my list. Gabbing with Gib. Yeah, because I really like Noelle. Amir he told her he wasn't going to apologize. And then in his confessional, he double, tripled down on it. But I actually noticed that some people in a certain, so also, you know, who didn't want to apologize was Nick when he was on Watch What Happens Live. And as a viewer, I thought he was harsh with those ladies. But you are also harsh with people you're comfortable with. But that's still not an out. And I felt like they were deserving of an apology once he watched it back and saw that they had nothing to do with sending Natalie to go talk to Tanisha. They had everything to do with what they said, but they didn't know they couldn't trust Natalie. They had no idea they couldn't trust that bitch until after she was like, oh, I'm going to go tell. They were probably like, oh, no, we can't just stop her. Yeah, he was very dismissive. That's the Karenish part about it, is the dismissiveness. First off, he was like, why are you talking to me? Dismissive. Then while she was talking, he looked at her like, why are you still talking to me? Dismissive. Then when she was like, are you going to take accountability? He was like, no. And then dismissed himself from the conversation. Very, 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 that was just some Karenish vibes to me. Karenish vibes. So, also in the show we had Alex. Waves, 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 waves. Waves, 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 waves. Waves, 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 waves. Crashing waves, waves. Bubble, 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 waves, waves. He's hilarious, you guys. And I was like, at first when he was doing that, I was like, oh, listen to him singing. And then he just kept repeating waves, 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 waves. Crashing waves, 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 waves. Waves, 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 waves. That was hilarious to me. Okay. Let me see, do I have a printing of that? I did tape a couple of things. Let me go back, forth and forth. Let me see, what day was that? Straighten your back. Straighten that back. Is it right here? Let me see, because I had. Is it? Waves, 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 waves. Let me just look for videos, albums, videos. Yeah, I did a video of it. Where'd it go? Okay. Can we hear it? I'm going to turn this down while we listen. Okay, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this.
Downstairs, and you knew it was going to include Natalie when she is not here to speak her piece. The way they came at us was disrespect, like a certain way. Whoa, like I understand why he's mad, but like say anything. But it's kind of dead now. It's not dead.
So that was the scene. And that was the Karen thing. That's why I take that. So Amir had raised his voice first. Shanice had raised her voice also. Bria, we've heard her voice raised, and her voice wasn't raised. And Amir did this Karen thing where he was like, calm down, be quiet, calm down, you're yelling. But she wasn't the one yelling, and I feel like that's a very Karen thing. They be coming up to you, starting some bullshit, and then you pipe up just a little bit so they can understand the word that you were about to say, and they're all, calm down, you're so aggressive, you're yelling, yeah, yeah, yeah. But they fully came up to you and started it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Amir, let me see, did I tape anything else from this? No, that's the only one I did. Okay. I should have went back to the hammock scene and got that also though, because Ann just said so Natalie was sitting on the thing and she says, oh, I think Tanisha should know. Didn't she say Tanisha needs to know and I should tell her? And then she's like, and then she confirmed, I'll tell her. They didn't never ask her to go do anything from what I watched. They didn't ask her to go do anything. And they didn't say, oh, no, don't go tell Tanisha. But I kind of felt like the shocked look on their face and the question like, well, why would you do that? Like, but nobody told her to go do that. Natalie confirmed with herself after suggesting that Tanisha should know and that she should tell. She then confirmed, and I'll tell her. Like a whole private conversation she was having with herself in front of the girls, in front of a camera. She didn't need to confirm with them to me. I feel like she confirmed what she was about to do and they didn't stop her. But I feel that's why I don't agree right here. I don't feel like Nick is valid in his reactions, because why did Natalie confirm to herself that this needed to happen and then act on it after not interacting with these girls the whole trip? Not one time did we see her have a conversation with the girls and just have a nice kiki where she also shared information. To me, Natalie was like, oh, I'm going to go sit out there on the hammock because all the girls were out there. But Natalie didn't add anything other than offering to be the bone collector to start some mess in Nick's relationship. And because she offered it like that, I feel like Natalie deserved the smoke that Nick should have gave her. And also that, what's his name? Amir was wrong for sticking up for her. You're right. Nick was valid in his reactions. I'm sorry. I just got Amir and Nick mixed up. So Nick was totally correct in his reaction. Amir was the salty one. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. The people who watch know. Yes, no worries. I get your trimmers. No worries. Did you know that I actually stutter, Terry, sometimes? Like if I get too worked up, I can't get the whole word out and I'll repeat it several times. So I literally stutter sometimes. Waves, 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 crashing, waves, 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 waves. Waves, waves, waves. It was hilarious. He could be a meme. He's going to be a meme for the rest of the life. Waves, 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 waves. Oh, and he was serious, you guys. He was inspired. He was inspired by the waves, and he was singing his whole every undulation was because the wave gave it to him. He was hilarious. Busy Blue made a point. Nick asked a year later, well, still talking about laundry, but a year later, Nick was still upset about the shit. Thank you, Ellen V, for pointing out that Nick does have a little case of the pot. You know, when the pot calls the kettle black. Uh-huh. Why are we still talking about last year? As soon as he sees Phil, I'm not dealing with him. He shit in my toilet last year. You're so right. You're so right. Shanice is struggling too. Now, Shanice didn't have her dad either. Didn't she get raised by her white mom? And Shanice is struggling with the waves, 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 waves. That is hilarious. Hey, Dustin, great you're here. Thanks for coming through. I love to hear you. I love that you're here. You love to hear me sing? You know, I was on who was I on the other day? Well, I love a good Randy Travis, but I also love Kenny Rogers. I was singing the Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, on like repeat for an hour the other day with my sons. And I love me some Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Love me some Kenny Rogers. I don't know who that was at the end. I think he's still alive, but towards the end, he was not looking like Kenny no more. He went to somebody's plastic surgeon who took Kenny Rogers' face and did something with it. And I was like, why'd you do that? Yes. I love Busy Blue too. I do not oppose to Busy Blue. And he keeps it so real. He's like, sometimes he's like, look, I'm not even going to come. I don't have nothing to say. This is going to be short. I like when he gets like that about that. And we share similar perspectives about certain things. So I appreciate that. But I don't have to agree with you for us to love each other. Believe it. Yes, where are all the fathers? You guys, it's an epidemic in our neck of the woods. Missing fathers. And that's by design. We already know it's left over from slavery. We already know. And I feel like the trauma of slavery has altered the DNA strands within certain people identified as Black, where you actually will hear a woman say, oh, I just want to get pregnant, but I don't want no baby daddy. You know, like that's a good option. Not understanding that the reason God made a man and a female is because you need both perspectives. In my humble opinion, you could use, I mean, if some tragedy happened where you don't have your parent, obviously that's going to be a cross to bear. But if a father and a mother have a choice, I feel like communication should be key, where they make a pact to always be there for the children, regardless of like or animosity for the other parent. Because we're having all these broken people show up in the freaking world, and it's not their fault they're broken. It's because of the parents' fault that you ended up a single parent and with only one parent in your household. And now you're out here trying to freaking navigate life and decide who's for you and who's against you. I was lucky to have my dad, rest in peace, LRGA Curves, Papa Curves. But, you know, I'm going to tell you honestly, my dad was a G. He was an OG, a triple OG. He kept it realer than real. Okay. And I'll never forget my dad was able to instill in me a couple of things about these men. And my two favorite are also some of the funniest. So my daddy, one time, he knew this boy was after me, and the boy was older. And I was always well developed. You know, my first training bra was like a 34 double C or something like that. Yeah, we were late to the store, put it that way. So, um, older people would always, and I was young, I would just give my number out, give my pager number out, people page, give my house number out. That was when we had phones in a house attached to a wall. And my daddy told me one time, after hearing an older voice call for his daughter, his minor daughter, and he told me, he's like, baby, just know that everybody that smiles at you isn't your friend. And a man will fuck a snake if somebody will hold the head. I'm gonna let that sink in. Those two statements helped me out so much in my life. They helped me out so much in my life. Because my dad was also the kind of man where I could be like, well, what do you mean, Dad? Not everybody that smiles at you is your friend. And he was able to elaborate on how people can manipulate you with smiles and niceties, also they can talk you out of what's between your legs. Which got him to his other point, that men care so little about who has the hole, that if somebody held a snake's head, fangs, venom, and all, a man would try to fuck it. Because that's how little they care about the holder of a hole. Shout out to Papa Curves. Shout out to Papa Curves. And who knows? I mean, had other people had their dad in their life, maybe Noelle would have got a bug in her ear and she wouldn't have put it all on the table for Alex, who had smashed her friend. And maybe Summer wouldn't have tried to trap freaking Alex with a smashing 3 times. And maybe Amir wouldn't talk to women so flippantly. And maybe. So each one teach one. That's all we can do. The cast got together and trauma bond. Oh no! I don't know. Definitely their traumas are real. I don't feel dumped on though. I do feel thoroughly entertained. I do feel invested. I want all of these people to evolve. I want them all to have an excellent life. Even Amir and Natalie, they don't need to have it on my screen in front of me. I don't need them to work nothing out in front of me. I'm with Ariana Madix on that. They are not going to use me for a redemption arc. Okay? They don't need to come back on the show and redeem nothing over here. And if he's making demands that he's not coming back unless she's full time, then they definitely don't need to come back at all. Amir is fine, but he's not that fine to make me have to tolerate Natalie at Martha's Vineyard for the whole 15 days. You know what I'm saying? Yep, I love music. You never noticed that? Oh, you never heard me stutter before? Yeah, I've stuttered. I've gotten so worked up on here, Terry. This is usually where I'm stuttering. Right here on my lives is usually where I'm stuttering. Ooh, I will get worked up. And I can't even get the word out. Yeah, Daddy was right. Yes, Kenny Rogers. Can't wait for the reunion. And everybody's wearing pink. Are they wearing, does somebody have cancer? Why is everybody wearing pink at the reunion? Or was it just because it was a Barbie year? I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah. So I'm going to drop the link real quick so that if you want to discuss Martha's Vineyard and add your 2-3 cents, you can, while I get ready for this next story. Oh, did Dolly Parton pop up? I love islands in the stream. That is what we are. Nowhere in between. How can we? I love that song. I tear that song up on karaoke with husband. Yeah, I bet he's from old school performing where you didn't get by with auto tunes and zero stage presence. Kenny is a consummate performer like his counterpart Dolly Parton. Okay, they are both giving us what we need when they're going up there. Okay, now let me find this other story real quick. I don't know if you guys saw that. Terrance Howard. Did you guys ever hear that Terrance Howard, he would be on the set, the guy who's from Hustle and Flow. And here, let me take this off so you can see him. He's gonna be up in the corner of this picture. He's up in the right hand corner of this picture. He was on Empire. He was Cookie's husband on Empire. Remember? And he was in Hustle and Flow. Well, even when he was on Empire, there was rumors going around that Terrance Howard is crazy. Terrance Howard is crazy. He always goes up to people and says 1 times 1 isn't 1. And everybody's like, but 1 times 1 is 1, because that's what we're taught, right? And I've actually questioned that a long time ago. I was like, how can something times itself be itself? And same thing with 0. How is value times no value make your thing have no value? I've always wondered that. Okay. But Terrance Howard, he uses the physics of stuff, the geometries. He's very gifted. And he recently interviewed with Rogan. And it was a 3-hour and 9-minute interview, you guys. And that interview is so fascinating to me. I'm such a science geek on top of all the other geeks that I have. I'm a true science nerd, and listening to him pontificate on the periodic table and the missing factors when Einstein theorized the E equals MC squared and whatever, and how just basically our fundamentals are off. The fundamentals that our entire learning system, our economic system, our science, our math is all off. Okay? And he was able to prove it to the point where Terrance Howard, the actor from Empire and Hustle and Flow and Iron Man, that's the same Terrance Howard, has 97 patents. 97. You know what one of Terrance Howard's patents is? The Oculus, you guys. VR headsets and Oculus was invented by Terrance Howard. I'm freaking amazed. I am so intrigued. Let me see, can I find the video I had for us? Your activity, your likes. Where's Terrance? T. Willie. Uh-oh, did I not save that other story? Shit. I'm sorry, you guys. Cussing to myself. Don't worry, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Pulling it up now. Terrance Howard. Here we are. So I have it here. So I'm going to share it right here. There. So now I'm going to go add this to the stage. And I'm going to go. Let me get this open, you guys. How's everybody today? Make Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified next time we upload a video and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets. Thanks for being here on LRGA Curves today, spending your time with me on this hump day. What day is it? Hump day. That's right. It helps keep me in the algorithm. I appreciate all your support and everything. So this is the video. Let me get my format that I like to have when we're watching the idge. That's how you say IG. Idge. And I'm gonna wait, let me go. I've started again. Sorry, you guys. Let me remove it. Start it again. My bad. My good. Okay. And then we're gonna add it. We're gonna make it big.
If you're right, so many people are wrong. Everyone's wrong. Oh, but the universe backs me up, and I have the proof of it. You have all these physicists.
Can you guys hear this okay? I really hope so. This is fascinating. You know how we were just saying before with all the stuff that comes out that we feel, that I personally feel, that I feel complicit in. Like when I find out an actor is a stone cold racist or a murderer, or like how P. Diddy is a full-on woman beater and a graper allegedly. And how Erica Jane was funded by burn victims and stuff like that. And whenever I listened to their music, I was like, oh, darn, I would have never listened if I would have known. And I've always loved Terrance Howard, and I've actually thought things like, oh, I hope nothing's wrong. I hope nothing comes out about that person, or I hope nothing comes out about that person. And so it's refreshing to hear what we're about to hear about this real life man and what he does in his real life when he's not entertaining us, you guys. Fascinating.
That's saying something different, but none of them have 97 patents. None of them have introduced a new form of flight, like with unlimited mid-air bonding. None of them have discovered 4 supersymmetrical systems. This is what we've done. This is what the collective is able to do. Facts. When you put yourself into the divine space. Because that spirit is waiting. It's just like, okay, are you going to make yourself a...
I've also used that knowledge to have a divine view from my bedroom.
So I thought that was so fascinating, you guys. One of the patents that he holds is for the Oculus. I thought he was going to talk about it more in that one. Let me pull up that clip for us. Did I have it in saved? I like so many things, you guys. I'm sorry. Just a second. Bear with me. Where's just... Yes. I might have to just go to the freaking video and try to catch it. Yes. Here, let's just go right over here, and I will take you right over here. Let's see. Terrance Howard. Have you guys ever heard of Billy Carson? He also no, that's not it. Okay, here we go, you guys. The Joe Rogan Powerful Lure. Here we are. Powerful 3-hour interview. I'm going to find the part right here. Does he do the timestamps on it or the chapters? No, but I know right where it is. Okay, let's go right over here. Let's add this back to the stage, and I'm going to find the place for us, you guys. Here it is. This is it.
From the image capturing devices in accordance with the instructions received from the control unit and outputs the refined data.
The proper angles of incidence, like the Birkeland currents talked about, those plasma currents talked about, those angles of incidence is at 120 degrees when it converts it back into electricity, and it will keep collecting and coming and make.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, and teaching. Fair use is use otherwise permitted under the statutes and the teachings. And, here it is. Fair use is permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Let's continue.
Making life, the planet.
Okay, you guys, wasn't that fascinating to know that Terrance Howards' patent is why Facebook and Meta and Microsoft and Apple and every other technology that has anything to do with VR, virtual reality, is siphoned from Terrance Howards' patent? Talk about a beautiful mind. I am like, no wonder I love him. I was like, oh, it was so refreshing that he didn't have crazy stuff happening. That's not why he hasn't been on TV. He also has blown up the theory about was it Sir Edward Newton who discovered gravity when the apple fell on his head when he was sitting under the tree? And, well, that theory is blown out of the water by guess who? Terrance freaking Howard, you guys. There's no such thing as gravity, you guys. You guys. And after he explains it, it's like, oh, it makes perfect sense. The gravity isn't what it is that holds us to the earth or makes us fall or anything like that. It's not gravity, it's electricity. And even the E equals MC squared did not consider electricity, which we are and are conductors of. Anyway, no way. Mel is in the house.
Hey, how you doing?
Let me make it so we're both up here. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm excellent today. How are you? It's always a pleasure having you in the LRGA Curves place.
Well, I was swinging through because I love the topic. I love Black history. And you know what this is reminding me of course? You probably saw this picture years ago called Hidden Figures.
Oh, I love that show.
Well, we had Taraji and Octavia Spencer and, of course, Janelle Monáe, and they represented, of course, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, who was really, very important to the DASA project. These brilliant African American women in Black history. So,
right.
What I'm saying to this is that, it's not uncommon because, the media would tell us that we know this very well not to be true. The media would tell us that we ain't nothing but problematic, out here just causing problems, but we are the cornerstone, the foundation to a lot of brilliant things that happens in this world. We truly are.
Oh my gosh.
At the bottom of every peanut butter, at the bottom of every electronic, everything. There is a black man or woman, honey. That's what's going on. And the thing is, that back in the day, before civil rights, of course, this is what we both learned this in our schooling, that back before civil rights, we didn't have the agency, or it was deadly. It was absolutely
Yeah.
deadly to go up into the middle of the world and say, hey, I invented this, because if you did, then what would happen? Your family would have been taken out. So a
Yeah.
lot of the things that we are responsible for, we don't get credit for to this day.
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh. Yeah.
there was somebody that was saying that the black community, they said, forget about the reparations for a minute. The simple fact is, we are owed almost trillions of dollars in inventions we put into this country. Trillions of
Oh
hard.
my God. Yeah, it's way beyond reparations. I am so glad you brought that up, Mel.
Yes. So that they say, oh, what about, well, honey, don't talk about the reparations. Talk about the money you owe me, honey. Talk about all the stuff, the fact that we built so much stuff and we are owed trillions of dollars with our inventions and creations. So, it's not a shocker that this is what's happening. Because I know that when it comes to electronics and technology, I remember watching The Social Network, which I loved, that it showed you that the people in these big companies, they can be very cutthroat. And what was his name? Steve Jobs and oh my gosh, Bill Gates and all those people, they've always been back and forth and doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I was a little worried for Terrance, because he's all, I'm trying to get in touch with Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. I'm like, no, they'll take your shit, man.
Yeah,
stay away from those two.
But you probably should. But I was going to say another thing too. Empire. You know what? I didn't watch it that much when it was on, but my gosh, that show has really been in my mind because of the actors and the producer and the director, Mr. Lee Daniels, but all other people. They are constantly, aren't they? They are constantly individually in our consciousness. Like if it's not Jesse, with his unfortunate issue.
Yeah.
He had years ago. Now he's coming back to acting. Of course, we had Taraji with Color Purple, and what she just went through. Now he's, so I feel like they always in our sort of thinking. I would love for them to come back at a reboot of the Empire with more steam under them, and them come back together and work together. And not on Fox, maybe put on Netflix somewhere where it could really be done well. But I think that I'm just very excited about that story. Very interesting. I was tuning through and I said, I'm not shocked because we are owed trillions of dollars. Absolutely.
Trillions. The good thing about the patent that he has, even though he let it lapse, patents are for a certain number of years. So they were able to use it to make as a basis to what they created. But because his patent is still in effect, now, even after the expiration in 9 or 8 years, he said, he can go and use any of their stuff that they created without having to pay them anything. So he could take the VR that Microsoft and Meta created, and he just said, I can tell them how it really works. They are not even using it properly. They just took what I wrote and did the base. There's so much more possible, and they don't even know because they just took my shit. He could go back and take theirs and make it into what it could be and not have to pay them a dime.
You know what? Maybe with him going to, what's his name, to Joe, who has his ups and downs. Maybe going to his audience and going to him might give like a little dog whistle, or maybe like a little sort of hint to some other investors. They go, wait a minute. So you know what? Because usually, if something's going to be taken off the ground, it takes about 8 to 10 years. So if they're going to get in the future is that direction, as far as the sort of artificial kind of stuff. So if he get an investor to say, hey, let's just, let's work on what I need to work on. Let's do it for 8 years. And then we can come out the boat connected to these big organizations, these big companies, then, I'm sure he could find investors to help him, put it together. So when he gets to 8 years, he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And look, you said it takes about 18 years to develop. He got the patent in 2010. So it's 14 years right now. That. And it's just now being developed. And so it's taken that long. Amazing. And another thing he talked about is that he blew up the theory of gravity. You don't need jet fuel to fly his planes. He's amazing. I sat in one sitting while I was cleaning my house and stuff, but I did this whole 3-hour thing in one morning the other morning. I couldn't even stop watching. I didn't want to hear anything else. And I've gone back several times to certain parts within this since then, just because it's so fascinating and it blows everything that we think we know out of the water.
Yeah.
out of the water. Like he explains why there's no gravity. He was able to recreate putting back together Saturn with his theory about not using gravity.
Wow.
And this is
You know what?
that-
I was going to say I'm a little ignorant when it comes to his background because I know he's an actor, but I don't know that he studied at MIT. Like, what's his background?
Okay, let's go there. Let me give you a little bit of that because it's fascinating. So he has total recall of his existence, you guys. Complete recall. He remembers entering his mother's womb.
No,
He said it felt like he got dropped off. He remembers being in his mother's womb, looking at his friend. What was his friend, you guys? His hand. How many times on ultrasounds do you see babies waving their hands and their feet and their face? He had named his hand his friend, right?
Wow.
He remembers in vitro. He remembers coming into the light from his mother's vaginal canal.
Wow.
When he was around 5, we're going to listen to it real quick. But when he was around 5, he had a dream because he's had dreams all his life also. He had a dream, and in the dream, the voice that he has now asked him, what do you want to know in life? And he said, I want to know it all. And so the voice said, oh, come in here. And it was a mansion. And in the mansion was all of the answers that he now possesses. And throughout his life, anytime he's had a question, he's like, oh, let me go to the mansion. You guys, it's crazy. Listen to this. And no, MIT doesn't have anything to do with it.
And they came to the conclusion that there must be something the matter with the eye because they couldn't perceive it. You'll see in there the mistake that they made because they believed in straight.
Let me get to that part.
Ourselves. You take Noah.
Younger. Now.
Yeah. And that's because of her. I still smoke my cigarettes.
Oh, and he's 55, you guys.
And I was going to spend 40 years rebuilding the periodic table, and I found out that Walter Russell had already did that. And he did it based upon the natural curvature of everything.
And when you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
Well, the way the periodic table is laid out, the periodic table they have now.
Let's see.
And he's so excited about everything he says. He's like, wow, he's been trying to introduce his theories and things. You saw his talk at Oxford a couple of years ago. That went way under the radar, and Oxford actually didn't let him get his introduction out. He even contacted Neil Tyson deGrasse. Is that how you say his name? And Neil laughed him off. Neil kind of cussed him out and then blocked him. Yeah, because he's trying to introduce these theories. Let me see.
It's like a box. My dad had just gotten out of prison, for the light there. And I didn't do the music. And he pushed up on his stomach. And then when I put the light there, he started following the light.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 minutes. He tells the story in the first 2 minutes. Let me get here.
Go all the way around the belly, back and forth, always pushing on it, back and forth. Back. I actually go right back to sleep. You remember being born. And
there it is.
Dale Pons, and somebody in the audience said, doesn't John Keely's work remind you
of the stream went down?
Oh, it did?
And I think because of Joe Rogan's program, it went down.
In touch with the university.
Yeah, on YouTube it went down. But I was going to say I'm going to watch the rest of it. I have to go for a minute, but I'll be back. But it went down.
Okay, no problem.
I'll be back, but I didn't want you to not know. It went. It's not public right now. There it goes. It's back now that the video is off. It's back now.
Oh, okay, right on. That's good to know.
But I'll be right back.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Let's see what just happened. Got it. Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to show you guys about that anyway. So now The last thing, we came back over to Instagram for a reason, though, you guys. A reason. The reason that we're here. The reason that we feel our feelings won't disappear. Oh. And after loving has been blamed, all our illusions
How do we end this? We're
are
ending
just
it right now.
temporary.
We are? What are we ending?
I don't know. I mean, if I had Teresa's number, I'd end it right
Oh,
now.
you want to end that?
I want to
I
end
have
this
already
sound
ended
just a
that, and
second. Nope, I'm looking for Shannon. So remember on TikTok, you guys, a couple months ago, that lady did the story about her boyfriend who she married during the pandemic, and then the boyfriend that she married during the pandemic that turned out to be like a full-on liar, and nothing he said was true, and she did like a 100-part 10-minute intervaled story on TikTok. Yes, reasons, the reason that we're here. Yes, Risa Tisa. You guys, somebody else has a story, and it doesn't have 52 parts, and the parts are not 10 minutes each. They're only 3 minutes each because she can only do it on Instagram. Let me see. Is it 100 parts? Let me see. Let me go to the last part and see what part she says this is. Let's see. What's this say? Oh, 48 parts, you guys. 48 3-minute parts. We're going to be on here for a minute because I was just going to replay it because nobody else has replayed it yet. Damn, that's over 2 hours. But look, it was 3:30. I wonder what I'm doing. Let me see. I could just go. I could just thug it out. Looks like if 2 more hours, we won't be out of here till 5:30. Let me check my calendar. I think I have a 6 o'clock. I have a 6 o'clock, and if I only have a 6 o'clock, then I can stay here and have an extended live with you guys today. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I shouldn't have to. Okay, so you guys. Yay! Woohoo! To a good day's hard work. Thanks for being in here, Bianca, while you were helping us. While you was at work, you were multitasking while multitasking. I love it. Okay, you guys. So I came across this story on my Instagram feed, and we are going to take a look at it.
Part 1 of my story. I told y'all life is a never-ending
Can you hear it okay?
saga. So
real quick, her name is Shannon Balenciaga on Instagram, and she just did this yesterday. And this is the first that we're going to get all 48 parts that I'm seeing here on the YouTube streets. Yeah, and instead of go out and come back in, or maybe I should go out and come back in. Okay, you guys, will you guys come right back if I start another live with just this? So it's a separate 2-hour live, so it's not a 4-hour live. Are you guys okay with that? If you guys will come right back, then I'll just pop back on. And can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys will come back? Okay, so this is a Risa Tisa similar story, Bianca. Remember Risa Tisa went famous for TikTok stories. She had like 50 parts of a 10-minute talk about the guy who she met during the thing. And then when she came, and then she got famous from all the things. So this lady has some story that took 47 parts on Instagram, and it looks a lot more intriguing than just some dusty Negro. I mean, this is going to be mystery, suspense. The cops are involved, a lot of stuff, and it's fascinating. So yeah. So if you guys will come, so Bianca and Ann, look, hey, I'm a party of one too. So I love you guys. So I'm going to end the stream, and I'm going to immediately come right back with another stream, and it's going to be the Shannon Balenciaga parts 1 through 48 story. Okay. So I'm going to end this one now, and then we'll come right back. Okay. Thanks for being here. Smash the buttons on this one, and I'll see you in about 4 minutes. Keep an eye and make sure your bell is on, so when I go live again, you guys will get notified. Okay? Peace.